Evening all, welcome back to Destiny, and oh look, it's a big eye shooting blobs of purple at me. This is a Halo game. You kind of get that feeling of it, don't you? I know everything's a little bit like, I mean, somebody said cartoony. Yeah, I get what you mean. It does feel a little bit. One of the things I really hated, well, I didn't hate, but it just maybe just bothered me a bit, was those squat red and green and orange dwarf things. I don't know. It was all a little bit Three Stooges comedy-esque. And it kind of grated on me after the millionth time I've shot one or stabbed one in the face. Anyway, let's talk Destiny. I think there's something really, really addictive about this game. As I sit here talking into this microphone, watching this footage, I can't take my eyes off it because I miss it. I'm surprised how much of a grip it had on me, and I think to wait till the 9th of September to play this game, that's going to break my resolve. It really, really is. Oh, look at that, we killed it. Nice. So it's going to pretty hurt to wait that long. So I'm really quite hoping that people are finding these videos in some way or another therapeutic, and I guess calming and soothing to keep you going until that point. I would just like to say, play Dust. It is still a very good game. It's a great, if it's the only option you've got, certainly play Dust, because it's actually there's some good games going on, some good fights, as the old meme goes. Otherwise, I would say, just get ready for the game, really. I mean, don't forget the app. There's an app you can download and get all your character information, etc. ready and to go. Otherwise, I think just enjoy the videos and just, maybe sit with a controller in your hand and pretend you're playing it. That's what I do sometimes. I shouldn't probably have said that. Anyway, the moon. Now, the moon is an interesting story behind the moons, because the moon is obviously something that was a base, a long-established human base, that was effectively given up as part of the invasion of the, whatever they're called, the darkness, the flood, whatever you want to call them, let's just call them them, was given up to them, and it became the bastion of the Hive. And the Hive are obviously one of the factions of them. Confused? Yeah, me too. But effectively, it's worth kind of really just pointing that out, because one of the interesting things about the game is it's got something that Doom had. Let me justify that statement to you. Doom always had something amazing. If you ever played Doom, then you'll know what I'm talking about. If you don't, then just enjoy the visuals for a minute. Basically, in Doom, you'd be running through a level, right? Yeah, right. And one of those great big caco demons, the big pumpkins, would see you in the distance, and it would start firing those flamey balls at you. It'd spit flamey balls at you, and you would effectively dodge it. And what we'd hear is that one of those flamey balls would actually hit one of the imps, okay, or a hell demon. And what would then happen would be a massive fight between those two parties. They would actually and you would just sit back and watch and let them fight. And you'd be like, seriously, bros, what's going on? The other one was the spider hive mind, if you remember that thing from Doom, and the cyber demon, which was literally the rocket spewing demon MF, that huge thing. I remember, though, there was a map where those two fight each other, and you have to wait until one of them's beaten the other. I mean, bloody hell, that's good, isn't it? I mean, I just was staggered that you could have a game where you are playing a protagonist, but then also the NPCs fight each other and they hate each other. And this is also true in Destiny as well, because the Hive and I've forgotten what they're called. The Fallen? No, what they're called? Oh, do you know what? I don't know. But the two different factions that we've met so far, so like the Vandals and the Dregs, don't like the Alakites and the Thralls, for example. And so they all of a sudden get into massive fights. Now, we'll show this because they actually start like this huge dust-up, if you excuse the pun, in the middle of a map. They just start fighting each other, and it gets more and more escalated with higher level and ultras and mages, as they call them. I'd call them officers. This game calls them mages, and then ultras. Ultras are like the ridiculously high level dudes. But yeah, there we go. I mean, it just staggers me that actually that's something in the game that they program that in, so that the NPCs fight each other as well. I love that. That could be used for some quite interesting strategies as well, because effectively you could just look to lure two groups into each other, and therefore you don't have to expend half your ammo, which I thought was incredibly good. Did Halo have that? Post in the comments if did Halo have that kind of animosity between the enemies? I don't remember if it did, but if it did, post in the comments, let me know. Yeah, there we go. I mean, to be honest, I'm just gobsmacked at how clever some of the design decisions in this game are, and it's, you know, it's always quite heartening because, I mean, we're playing here with Nano, and whenever Nano says something's good, you can kind of be assured that it is, because he is a games developer. So, you know, there is always going to be that kind of you know, there's going to be stuff in here that isn't great. And it's going to be stuff that you just think, well, they put that in because of, you know, they're just literally having to do that. So let me give an example of that, is regenerative health. Games now have regenerative health because people hated health packs. And when you're playing in a gang game, people don't like fighting over health packs because some douche just takes it to, you know, to heal up a little fraction, whereas maybe it was needed by someone else. So getting rid of that has actually made gangs a lot easier. And let me go another one that was actually really cited as being incredibly good, was loot drops and ammo drops in this game are not instanced like Borderland. So basically, or rather are the instance. But anyway, the way is in Borderlands, if a gun drops, it's a Scrabble to see who gets that gun, and whoever gets that gun can decide if they want to share it or not. In Destiny, it's entirely different. So I will see a bit of loot that maybe Nano won't, and vice versa. And the same with ammo as well. It's all basically done so that the individual can see only what they can pick up, which is, I guess it's a little bit liberal Democrat. It's a little bit kind of hippie tree hugger, because obviously the animosity and fighting of a group is quite a fun factor. But I think in this game, no, they've kind of done away with it, which, you know, again, positive or negative depending on your view. I think for me, I wasn't too bothered about that. I thought it made sense, because you don't want to kind of have to sit back as a sniper and then get penalized for doing so when loot drops at the enemy. So it kind of makes sense to me. Here we go, look at this. A temple door with chains on it, and a dead guardian right outside it. Trap maybe? I think so. I think this is going to be a trap. But there we go. I mean, to be honest, there's something quite, I don't know. The story is good in this. It's getting me now. Usually when you play a game, it's still a little bit, all your base are belong to us, all a bit like that. But lately, some of the games are getting really quite good. Like Grand Theft Auto 5, I actually thought the story in that was quite good. It was a little bit pointless, but I liked the erraticness of it. I thought it was actually not a bad narrative all the way through. And I think Destiny has the potential. I mean, Halo's story is bollocks. It is utter bollocks. I'm sorry if you disagree with that. I just consider it complete and utter shash, because it's like, you know, it's a little bit kind of like, you are the chosen one, you are the savior, blah, blah. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's a bit cliche now. It's a bit Doom. Doom did that and it did it better. Whereas Destiny, I think, is a much more kind of, you know, there's an organization here trying to fight against the evil ones, etc., etc. And to me, that kind of grabs me a bit more. Here we go. I think the hive has awoken. We have now stuck our genitals into the beehive, and we're now flicking the outside of it like a bongo. And I think that's that's going to end badly for me. But I've got my supercharge, so I'm quite cool with that. I wish I'd used my rocket launcher more. In the playthrough that we're going to do, you will see that I use the playthrough the rocket launcher an awful amount more. It is the plasma cannon of this game, and I am loving it. And to be, oh, here we go. Yep, nice. Look at that. I mean, the splash of it is ridiculously good. Boosh. Oh, I love this thing. The only problem I have with it is this is not enough ammo. That's definitely the only problem I have with it. But look at that, stomping them. I'm going to reload it quickly, and kerblow. Oh, son, you got owned. Son, you got owned. Oh, I love it. I think actually that might become my weapon, the rocket launcher, because I don't know, something about it. It works for me, you know. It is a gun that I think just I get. It just makes a lot of sense. But to be honest, you got to be careful with it, because the splash on it will kill you, no matter how armored you are. You got to be very aware of that. Go blap. Now, to be honest, this is an interesting kind of, I guess, mission in a way, because it is just a basic mission. I think they threw this in just to kind of, I don't know, make people, I don't know, give them a bit of something extra on. Oh crap, that's a wizard. Oh bollocks, that's an officer wizard. Not good. I think they gave the moon out to people just to kind of, I don't know, sweeten the deal a little bit of beta, but I think one of the things I'm surprised at is why would they have closed beta so soon, maybe, is my concern. Look at that. Did I kill that thing? Is it dead? I can't tell. Yep, there we go. Rockets. Rockets, ho. Oh, rockets are good. And that's it. So to be honest, I think there is a little bit of a negativity towards this, is that they did just give us one mission and one area in the beta. I thought they might have done a bit more. And I thought it would have been a bit more of a structured thing, because they must have known that pretty much everybody was going to play it who knows about it. And I think they could have used it as a much more of a sort of open area. Plus, to leave a month now between the beta and the game coming out, it does feel like actually some people will be, they'll lose interest and they'll go at other things. Other baubles will come along and other butterflies will fly by, and that'll be what they end up chasing. Do you know what I mean? I'm actually quite surprised that they've done it like this, because I actually thought they would have maybe done this a couple of weeks before and then leave it on until the game comes out and then switch it off. Do you know what I mean? It'd be like, right, you log in one day and it's like, right, you can buy the game right now. Here's the link. Look, press this link and you can buy this game. And I think that would have been a bit better. Maybe they're going to open beta up nearer the time, but I don't think they are. I could be wrong, but I actually am not entirely sure they are. There we go. Fun times. Got some nice loot out of that. Now, one of the rewards you got from this was a very, very good gun that reserves ammo. And you'll see what I mean probably in the next few videos. But, absolutely loved it. And stay tuned. Join us tomorrow, because we are going to actually explore that moon a lot more. It is huge. We have just shown you 5% of it. It is much, much bigger than maybe what you've seen so far. So stick around, as Arnie would say, and stay tuned, and we'll look at this tomorrow. So join us tomorrow as we go exploring.